Want to hear another story?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I got a good one. I got an Oakland story. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. I'm glad. Nice to have someone to tell a story to. So when I first moved here to Oakland, I got a job over at the phone company, just a couple blocks from here actually, over by the 24-hour fitness. I was the quality observation monitor. So when you call and you hear, this call may be monitored for quality and training purposes, I was the monitor. I would sit there and listen to people's phone calls. And there'd be like 300 different people who I was supposed to listen to a week. I'd listen to like 60 of them a day. And by listen, I mean, I'd read X-Men comics and check out the whole website. And then be like, oh no, they're great, they're totally great. Because like, these people were like older than me and they had kids my age, and like I could get them fired, and like I really didn't care like, what they did, like I didn't want to get them fired, so like for the most part I'd be like, no, they're perfect, because if I said they weren't perfect, then someone would go chew them out. And so, we're just like, no, listen to them, they did great, So like, for the most part, I've really been listening, but every now and then I'd do my job. So one day I was like doing my job, kind of, and I was just like sitting there like reading National Geographic. I was a male customer, female operator, and he was late on his bill, and he was making payment arrangements to like keep his phone on. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, "So what are you wearing?" And I'm like, what the hell? And I sit up and like scramble around, and I'm like reaching to try and get the internet button so I can like join the call and be like, "Sir, your behavior is completely inappropriate. If you wish to maintain services regarding discussing this," and I was gonna chew him out and like put a little thing on his name, and like all this hubbub, and like go to the operator and be like, "I'm so sorry you have to deal with the public sometimes. This is part of it. So please take a half-hour break." Blah blah blah. But before I could hit the internet button, she's like, "Ooh, I'm wearing a lime green top, a black mini skirt, stiletto heels." And I'm like, my finger's hovering over the button now. Like, retrospect, I should have gotten Matt Holdaway, but this is like the most excitement I'd seen on this job since I had it. So I was like, let's see where this goes. So he's all, "So what are you like?" And she's like, "Ooh, I got double D's, booby don't stop, and I got a tongue ring, you know what that's for." And I totally know what that's for. So like, I'm looking like a woodchuck, poking my head out of my Cuban, like trying to figure out who this is. I'm like wearing my suit, and everyone knows I'm a monitor. And they're like, "Oh crap, the monitor's look busy." And so they're all like trying to like look like they're doing their job. But I'm like looking, and I can't see anybody's mouth moving the way hers is. And I mean, they're like starting like all kinds of sex. Like, they're like talking about their favorite positions. He's talking about taking her to Tahoe, and like all this like crazy stuff. And like, I mean, it's like kind of hot. And like so finally, like they get to this like weird spot. And I still have no idea who this is. And like he goes, so baby, where were we?" And she's all, "Ooh, I was telling you about the Basics Plus 10. It's our most comprehensive package ever." And he's all, "Sign me up, baby, sign me up." And I see it on the screen. He just got signed up for like all these things he's never ever going to use, like select ringing, call forward, three-way calling. Like, yeah, he couldn't pay his bill before. He's gonna have a tough time with it now. But I heard him. Like I monitored him sing twice, and he agreed to this arrangement. So I wanted it. So yeah, so like call ins, and I'm like, I gotta find out who this girl is. So I go to her manager and I'm like, "No, who's 7649? I don't have a legit reason to talk to her." He's like, "Oh, what'd she do now?" I'm like, "She turned delinquent into a plus 10 sale, and I wanted to congratulate her with something out of Schweik box." And he's like, "She got a plus 10? Nobody gets a plus 10, because nobody's dumb enough to buy a plus 10. And like, so he's like, "Yeah, alright, let's give her something." So we go to the Schweik box, and there's like lanyards and t-shirts and crap that no one had ever used, but there was a gift certificate for Lowe's to Pie Queens. And I'm like, "Wow, that place is the bomb." So I grabbed that gift certificate, and so like me and her manager are like walking towards her cubicle, and she looks over at us, and I see her like, "Oh shit." she just starts like taking her pictures off of the cubicle wall. Like we like walk up to her. This is all. Hey Matt, where'd you get that last sale? Way to go. Like knocks on her desk. Like walks off. And I'm sitting there smiling all stupid. And I'm like, that was pretty good. And she's like, you heard the whole thing? And I'm like, yeah. Like, how did you do all that? And she's like, I could have sworn you might have been my customer before. I'm like, customer? And she's like, I used to be a phone sex operator before I had this job. I said I have operating experience, and that's how I got here. And I'm like, yeah, listen, if anybody heard you do that, for sure you'd be fired. If anybody heard you do that, and I'm firing you, we'd both be fired. So, promise me, you'll never repeat that sales technique again. She's like, I promise, I got a kid at home, I can't lose this job. I'm like, I understand, just promise. She's like, I promise, thank you so much. I'm like, no problem. As I walked away, she flashed her tongue ring at me. I really appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Jasper on guitar. Davey on this, or David on that. And Akshay on this. It's Roller. Thanks to the sound guy. Farley's grabbing me, and they have put it together for Farley Crowd. Appreciate it. You can like me on Facebook.